The three brothers in the Valley of Wisdom in a peaceful village near the riverside. Three brothers lived together: Hamza, the eldest, Junaid, the middle, and Farhan, the youngest. Despite being brothers, their attitudes toward life were completely different. One day, a traveling merchant came to their village and told stories of the legendary Valley of Wisdom, where an ancient tree grew at the center. It was said that anyone who reached this tree and meditated beneath it would understand the true purpose of their life. The three brothers decided together, "We will go to this valley and find our purpose." Their journey began at dawn. The morning sun was bright and their hearts were full of hope. After walking for a few hours, they reached their first obstacle, a massive wall made of loose stones blocking the entire path. There was no way around it. Hamza, the eldest brother, looked at the wall and sighed deeply. "This is ridiculous. Who puts a wall of stones in the middle of a path? This journey is poorly planned. I'm not wasting my time on this nonsense." Without even attempting to move a single stone, Hamza turned back. When he reached the village, people asked, "Did you find the Valley of Wisdom?" Hamza replied bitterly, "That place is a myth. The path is impossible. Don't waste your time." Hamza gave up before even trying. Junaid and Farhan looked at each other after Hamza left. "Should we go back too?" Junaid asked. Farhan smiled. "We've come this far. Let's at least try." Together, they started removing stones one by one. It took them 2 hours. Their hands became dirty and tired, but finally they created a passage through the wall. "See?" Farhan said. It wasn't impossible, just difficult. They continued their journey with renewed energy. By afternoon, they reached a wide river. The water was flowing fast and the current looked dangerous. There was an old rope bridge, but it was partially broken and swaying in the wind. Junaid stared at the bridge and then at the rushing water below. "Farhan, look at this. The bridge is broken. What if it collapses while we're crossing? This is too dangerous. Maybe this is a sign that we shouldn't go further." Farhan examined the bridge carefully. "The bridge is old, but the ropes are still strong. If we're careful and go one at a time, we can cross safely." But Junaid was already backing away. "No, brother. I'm not risking my life for this. Some things are just not meant to be. You go if you want, but I'm returning home." Farhan tried to convince him, but Junaid had made up his mind. As Junaid walked back, he told himself, "I'm not a quitter like Hamza. I tried. But some obstacles are just too big. It's smart to know when to stop." Junaid quit with justification, making his fear sound like wisdom. Now Farhan stood alone at the river's edge. He felt scared. The bridge did look dangerous. His brothers had gone back. Maybe they were right. But then he thought, "I didn't come this far to turn back at every difficulty. If I return now, I'll always wonder, what if I had tried?" Carefully, step by step, testing each wooden plank, Farhan crossed the bridge. His heart pounded with each step, but he kept his focus. When he reached the other side safely, he felt something new, not just relief, but confidence. "I did it," he whispered to himself. "I can do difficult things." Beyond the river lay a dense forest. The trees were so thick that sunlight barely came through. Strange sounds echoed from within. Flits. As Farhan walked deeper, thorny vines caught his clothes and scratched his arms. The path was unclear. Several times he tripped over roots and fell. Hours passed. Farhan was tired, bleeding from small cuts, and his water was running low. A voice in his head whispered, "Your brothers were smart." They went back to comfort, and here you are, alone and suffering. Turn back before it gets worse. But Farhan remembered something his father once said, "The prize is never at the beginning of the path, son. It's always at the end." So he kept walking. When thorns blocked his way, he found a different route. When he fell, he got back up, up. When darkness made him afraid, he sang songs to give himself courage. As Farhan pushed through the forest, something shifted inside him. He stopped seeing the thorns as enemies. "These thorns are teaching me to be careful," he thought. "This darkness is teaching me to trust myself even when I can't see clearly." Just when Farhan thought he couldn't walk another step, the forest opened up. Before him lay the most beautiful valley he had ever seen. In the center stood an enormous ancient tree, its branches spreading like protective arms. But what surprised Farhan was that there was no sage, no wise old man waiting there, just the tree and silence. Confused, Farhan sat beneath the tree and closed his eyes to meditate. And then, in that silence, understanding came to him, not from any external voice, but from within. Farhan opened his eyes with tears streaming down his face. I understand now, he whispered. The wisdom wasn't in the valley. The wisdom was in the journey. The stone wall taught him that most obstacles look bigger than they are until you start working on them. The broken bridge taught him that courage means doing something despite fear, not without fear. The dark forest taught him that persistence transforms suffering into strength. His brothers didn't fail because the journey was impossible. They failed because they chose comfort over growth. Farhan realized something profound. The journey itself was the teacher. The valley is just a place. But I am different now. I'm not the same person who started this journey. He looked at his scratched hands, his torn clothes, his tired body, and he smiled. These wounds are not signs of failure. They are signs of a life fully lived. Farhan began his journey back. And here's what amazed him. The same obstacles that seemed so difficult on the way up felt manageable on the way down. The dark forest, he knew the path now. The broken bridge, he crossed it confidently. The stone wall, he had already made a passage. The obstacles hadn't changed. He had changed. He had changed. When Farhan reached his village, his brothers ran to him. Did you find it? Did you reach the Valley of Wisdom? They asked eagerly. Farhan smiled at his brothers with compassion, not judgment. Yes, I reached it, and I want to share with you what I learned.